Hi, I'm Henry, and in today's session I'm gonna work on Markee, an editor for editing markdown files, a well-known format for saving notes and documentations. And in today's session I will start to define a little backlog, and besides that I will start to implement the overall layout, that we have the app windows in line. And if I can make it in this session, I will also get started to implement the new functionality by implementing a form, which will be on the left side of the application. Let's get started. So first let's create a section in the README of the project to have a small backlog. So like I mentioned, we want to set overall layout, or let's call it foundations of the overall layout. So, and what else? So we want to implement a new node functionality and form. Same for new folder. And what else do we need? We need that's for another session, we need to implement a file tree. So, and a preview. Maybe we will also have a markdown editing mode as source code. At the moment we have a rich text editor there, and it's not possible to switch that. So what else do we need? We need to have versions using Git, and local save is already implemented. I did that in the last session. So then let's get started with that one here. So therefore let's start the app. So, and as we see here, we have something called file tree here. We have the editor and we have a save button. Actually, the save button, yeah, let's get started with that. So let me quickly check the app. So here we have the button at the moment. So, and what we actually need. So first we want to define this layout. Let me check the app CSS. Are we going to do this here? Yes, I would say so. Then let's... So do we have the styles? No, it's not imported right now. So let's check styles app. So, and we're going to put this display flex, and we want to have it the full height of the current window. Let me check if this already worked. So what's the issue here? So let's check. Do we have any CSS here? What's going on? Let me look. What is this? Yeah, okay, that's something. Okay, we have a couple of warnings here, but nothing related. Let me quickly check if the style is being imported correctly. That's not... Ah, no. We need to check this here. Okay. Nothing inside. Okay. Let me quickly check. It seems that it doesn't work because we don't have CSS modules. Create React app CSS. Okay. We need to call it module. So like this. And we should call it app module here as well. And then we have this. So now we have an error. What's going on here? So that's somewhere it is being logged. Let me check. Yeah, that's true, because I just removed the app CSS. Can't resolve app CSS. Good, yeah, that's the reason for that might be that. So there we go. Not exactly what I wanted, but it looks promising. So then, okay, let's proceed. We have the app styles here. So first we want to have the file tree. So therefore the file tree also needs a new style sheet. Let's call this file tree.module.css. And here we also create a class called file tree. We use curly braces for that. So and we say we want to have it that this collapses. So for the editor we are doing the same, just that we... oh no, that was not what I wanted. I wanted to copy this and we call this editor.module, and also here we define editor, and this one should grow. So the save button, we need to... so we have the click handler here. So we have editor file tree So then we will create a new directory here, call it controls. So in this we will create a new component file tree, controls.js. Nice. Okay. Let me copy this over. We call this file tree controls. So, and this file tree controls as well, that we can see what we've done. We don't need the use effect here. So then let's use this within the file tree component. So there we go. So exactly. Good. Then we have the file tree controls here. And what we actually want is to put the save button inside of the file tree controls. Let's check what we need there. So at the moment this has a couple of dependencies here. I think that we should introduce a React context here. That the save button can just... Oh, is it a good idea? Yeah, I guess so. Let's create a use context hook. So check the docs. Oh. So maybe I'm going to create a directory called context. So into this I will create a global context.js. So let me check. Okay, in the app we can create this context. Good. Then let's... Yeah, first we need to import React. So like this. Yeah, I want to add something to the backlog right now. So latest, before I want to implement the file tree, we need ESLint and ESLint fix. Code looks messy right now. So sometimes I have semicolon, sometimes not, sometimes double quotes, sometimes single quotes. I don't like that. So actually what we can do is to just import create context here, and let's define global context equals create context. So And so this is actually scene context consumer. So we have a consumer and we have the provider. So then where is this changed? Scene defined. This is toolbar. Where is this toolbar being used? Ah, from this toggle scene. Good. Let's export this. How do we call it? Global context default maybe, and that's an object. And for now we are passing this. Just wanted to try things out a little bit. So in my app I can use the global context provider now. So this is actually what we have here, and the value would be here. So we will have an on-save handler, and that is handle save click. So good, but we are passing it like this. So into the global context, let's just define the onSave as an empty method. It's the default state. So and we want to have a consumer. No, we use the useContext. We use the useContext look. Let me check that. This functionality should be in controls, right? So let's get back to the useContext hook. So, and the context we have would be global context, like this. So we need to import the useContext as well. Don't know why this doesn't happen automatically. So, but this is global. So let me check what we have here. So should be global context. No, now we have errors. So it has problems with the global context provider. Create context, use context. So we have value is okay. So now that's what was again the example? Context provider. Class context type, no. That's not what we want, no. Context consumer. Let's try this. That needs to be uppercase. We've got errors. Lots of errors. Maybe it already works with useContext. Let's try this. So build. There we go. There's our ends-of method. So, and what we want is to and we also need the saving here. So this is false by default. And if we, so now that we got this, we can safely remove this from here and should be able to use it here. So we need to put it like that. And in that case, we need to use global context on save. Let's try this. So we have a save button here. So is saving seems to work, and we will see in a couple of seconds if save also worked. I really don't know why this takes so long. I've got the feeling that this doesn't work as it should. Oh, it worked. But that took really ages. Yeah, let's check. Lightning FS seems to be not the fastest solution here. But for now we will stick to it. Okay, so we have the save button, we have the file controls. So, and we have this here basic. So this is already what has the length we want, this column as well, and this column too. But what I actually want is that the editor column is already flex 1.1 auto. So this section is still in the app here. That should be, yeah, we should put this so what we want is preview, and actually what I want to do is to refactor that a bit, that we have a components folder, and I want to move this directories to components, and I want to search for references. Seems to work. Let's check. Yeah, now our HTML component is gone. Did I delete this already? No. I have nothing here. Okay. So, and that means I also need to pass the HTML into that. In the global context, I will save it or default it as an empty string. And let's take what we have got here. Let's create a preview JS. So let's take this as a starting point, and let's call this preview. So we don't need to render anything else than what the preview here for now. So, and instead of using HTML directly, we will use global context HTML. So, and let's create a preview module .css, and let's define that class, and we also want it to be flex 1.1 auto to take the space on the right side. All the space necessary at the moment is nothing necessary. So as you see here, actually yeah, I think we didn't even make the output here. So that was the old component, not the new one. So like this. What? Previous not defined. Yeah, that's true. Let's import this. What? Context is outside of the source directory. Woohoo! Where? I think that's a copy-paste issue. So this seems to work. But let's wrap this and we want to have the styles inside of it. So that will be styles preview. Let's check what we have here. So this is the preview. This is this. So, and I think we should wrap this. Actually, we should wrap the preview and the editor in one container to have a side-by-side with 50% as a default. Yeah, maybe I should add this to the backlog. So add borders to the sections to adjust draggable borders. The width of the areas. Good. Okay then, but as we want to implement the basic overall layout, let's do this now. So for now, no. Now it's getting weird. So like this, starts main. Well, let's call it split view. So I don't have this class. Let's implement this. And let's put this flex 1 auto. Then we won't need this on the modules, I guess. On editor and on the preview. It might not be necessary. So yeah, that's not defined, the split view, but it should be now. Yeah, maybe we should add a class name property here, and then it works, but this is kind of weird because now it collapses. So that means that we need to, yeah, we need to set this to display flex as well. So like this. So for now. Yeah, that doesn't work. So let me check this quickly. We have this and we have this. So Let's put it grid. So grid direction, grid, CSS, grid direction. Grid template columns. One fraction. Yeah. So like this. Okay. In this view it seems a little bit weird. It seems like we have to, in order to have one bar on top, it might be necessary that we remove this completely from Quill and use the API. Or can we somehow figure out how I add this? We have the toolbar here. But that will be hard, right? Yeah, that's something for later, I guess. That is more complicated than just setting up the foundations. For now, I will leave it like this. So we don't need to display the file controls thingy there anymore. See that the component is there and it works because we have the and we still have the file tree here. Maybe don't know if this only maybe that shouldn't be called file tree because it will also actually it will display the file tree. For now it is okay. So I wonder if I didn't maybe I should turn this around and start with the file tree and then add the new node functionality in form, because it will be part of the file tree. That if you click on new, it will appear in the file tree, if that makes sense. Or do we want to implement a dialog for that? So then I wonder, so I think we should. That's a problem or a challenge what needs to be first? Do we need the new node first or the file tree? Let's just implement a simple form here. Let's get started with the file tree. At the moment we don't have too much inside of it. I just start a component I plan to use. I don't know yet if I want to use this or this. Let's quickly recap and check the demo. Also, actually this looks quite comfortable. Let's get started with this. So let's install this. So let's check the documentation again. Content apple type fruit. Let me check the demo and let me play around a bit with this. Looks good. I don't know where those icons come from. Is it possible to see this? Let's just copy the demo over as a starting point. So let's see what we get. Oops. Okay, documentation is not copy pastable. It looks exactly like this. How can I change the icons? The component looks nice, but I think let's go to the next one. So while the page loads, I will just remove this again. So, and let's remove this. I didn't see any chance to remove the icons there easily. So maybe I could have a second look if this doesn't work. So Basket Core, Basket Tools, Basket React. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, that's not compatible. Oh. Good. Seems to be nice projects, but not for my use case. So, React file tree component, maybe tree view component. Let's keep this open, not too bad. What's this? Ah, that's a collection.
Streamst du gerade?
Ja, ich streame gerade.
Oh, haben wir das gesehen?
Das hat man gesehen. Alle Leute, die online waren. Echt? So. Then let's multi-selection. Actually, how can I say this? Depends on a lot of stuff. Maybe I implement it on my own. So we have the idea. So at the moment we only have the idea. And within this we have the index. Yeah, let's create a I don't know. Let's call this file tree footer and file tree file. So we don't need this component at the moment. We also don't need this. So and we need to export file tree folder. Don't need this. And also no, not this. So actually question is so for that we need a recursion. Let's just print it out for today. I'm not sure. That's here. That's factory folder for now. And yeah, actually we should create some demo code here. To create a little bit of a demo structure that we can work with. So just some stuff here. We only need to do this once. So that can be already taken away because we now have like 4 files. Now let's create a directory. So pass, yeah, what's the pass? Yeah, in the uppermost directory. What is actually we should also pass this, then we don't need to pass this as a prop. Let's do this. F_ref current. So then in the file tree we need to use the global context like we did in the editor. No, not in the editor, in the controls. So we can safely remove this. And let's go to this, and now we can remove this, and we Can use this from global context, but that should result in an error. Let's create a dir called, I don't know, archive, and a dir archive dot, and maybe another dir. So, and below that we should have, I don't know, March, June. So let's check. Okay. So I'm actually don't know. Yeah, I will check if I could, that someone else has done this before. Folder, let's Node.js, we do the work folder and output as JSON. That's not what we want. Kind of what we want. Exactly what we want. So for now I will put this here, and no, that would be so. I don't need callback. So, and I use global context of s, and I think global context of s in the browser Lightning FS doesn't have this redirect method, so I need to check isomorphic git for the Lightning FS documentation. So redir. So then like this. So we are iterating over the dir. Go for each. That's something file pass join. No, that's not necessary. we know in which directory we are. So, and therefore we only need this. We can call this directly dealpath. So, but we don't have the start sync method. That would be something like start. Okay. So then global using promises, start dealpath is directory, it has this, yes. So maybe we have to do it like this, because we are getting back a promise, and from this promise, yes. So, and the same here, we will also do an await here. So, yeah, needs to be async, right? Maybe we should declare this as, for now it's null as a default, and now that works a bit better. So, and we don't need a callback here. What we want in the end, so and this should be actually the idea, and we also so now we are checking if it is directory. If it is directory, we are working the dir again. I want to make this a little bit different because we don't have the callback here. So oops. So, and we need to await this as well. So what problem is here now? Ah. No? Oh. Yeah, for each won't accept this promise. Let's build this different. We have the that's an array. Let's just do a for loop. Let I at 0, d plus links, I plus plus. So if this is the directory, yeah, we can actually copy this to top. So now we have a function running through all the folders, doing nothing else. But what we actually want is to build up an object that that contains all the folders and files. So and therefore we have this dir path. So and we need to create let's save this as a reference. So and file tree ref. So what's the problem here? Or do we want to have an array? That should be an array. An array of arrays. A matrix. Or a vector. So then we push this here. But as soon as we go one level deeper, let's do it like this. So like this. So and in case of this, what we need to do here is that won't work. Let's check what we've got so far. No, let's... no. So... So like expected, we have the first level in the dir. So now we need to have what is in, and therefore we need to create a new array . But this is returning Yeah, that's returning nothing. So normal computing problem. No one here to help? No? No. Okay, then I have to go through this alone. So that's clear that this doesn't work because we go into it. File to record. Let's check if this actually works. Path split is not a function. Why not? Where do we make path split? Ah. Yeah. So might work better. No and there's no directory. Yeah. True. So is this let me check if this works what I want here. Why is it checking for ./indexmd? That is the first file. That's so like this. That's not a directory. That's I agree. And then if it is doing a lookup, it doesn't work. Let me check what this outputs. That doesn't work. Just wait a second, I want to see. Ah. Let me check if this works. That works. Woohoo! Why it doesn't work if we do it like that? What is dir plus I actually? What's the difference? Okay. Do we need the self-executing function here? I don't know. Yeah, actually, it should at least, if I do this, I want to try something out. I have the feeling that it just don't work because of the dot at the beginning. So it won't do this. Let me quickly check if this. Oops. Does that work? No, it's not even. I don't get it. Is this... So the first time this goes into this. So maybe I try something else. I don't get it. What's the point here? Does that mean we cannot walk this recursively? Maybe I can find something about this in the documentation. So also we should do something like this here. That makes more sense. So did I miss something? I don't know. Status of pure in memory. Yeah. Would be cool if this would work. Do I have actually objects inside of it? Then I can check. That will be awesome. If I understood this correctly. Like this? No. Yeah, that won't work. I have only a string. That's the question. Do I need to provide a file object? No, file pass. That's pretty weird. I don't get it. Yeah, maybe this is something for the future me. Okay, let's recap what we did last time. Yes, we looped over the dir pass and tried to execute stat on the dir pass item, and that didn't work, and I have the feeling that we will need immediately invoking function expression. So let's see if we, yeah. So this is how it looks like. And we will use this here and we'll pass I to it. And we'll also consume that here. I don't know if we can do the same thing with an arrow function. I will check that. So, and instead of doing that stuff, directly here, we will do it inside of the method body. And yeah, okay. That needs to be async then, I guess. And now so what we have to do here is to do an await here, I guess. And instead of I, we will use index within the function body everywhere. Okay, we have a warning here. Okay. Let's fix this one later. Let's check what we get. Still a problem. So we are using the index here everywhere. Does that work? It cannot find. So let's check. I want to see what this actually is. We have the index MD. Let me check if this works. I don't know what's going on here, but I hope I will find out. Why is this removing this one? Telling me it's a directory. Is file. Ah, yeah, okay. Really? That was it? So, I guess we Let's save that in a variable, current item, like this. And we gonna take it here, and here, and here as well. Let's see. Now we have it working. Woohoo! Nice. So let's quickly check if this error does not occur anymore. No, it doesn't. So we have the archive. But it's not going further. If I remember that correctly, I created also something within. I cannot see this. Oh, maybe I need to create. So we have a directory. What was the output actually? Byte ref current. Yeah, that's not how it works. It should be different. That should actually work like this. So that's the start here. And what we have here is the reference list, no, tree list for now. So that's actually so what we should do is to create a variable. So here we have nothing. So we are passing we need to pass the reference. No, that's not what we are doing. We are starting with an empty array. And that's the tree list of type string array. Oh, we are not in. I forgot we are not in TypeScript. So so we are passing the tree list as a reference. Then we can use the tree list here. And we will need to return the tree list here. Or else we will return the, let's see what we get then. Unfortunately, still the same. So now I need to double check that maybe the archive path doesn't even have something. So let me check what we get if we check the archive path using readdir. So what do we get there? That's empty. Tja. Then we need to create a directory within this and a file. Let's do this. So where do we have code that actually implements files? Now we can just do this here. We make another dir in the archive path called 2021 March, and within this we create file called 21 MB maybe. So, and file content would be what happened on the 21st March. Good. Actually, should be enough. No. Maybe I also need to make this. Tree list is not iterable. Ah, that's true. Let me check how this looks like. We get this, and if we check the archive 2021, we get March, and if we check March, we get 21 MB. That seems to work as it should. Why that doesn't work? Yeah, that's... That's the issue here. Okay, now I got it. We need to prefix this with dir. That makes sense, but like this. And we should do this. Okay. Still not. Ah, okay. That's wrong. That's wrong. Like this. So there we go. So, but actually not what we want. What we want is a nested array. For those. Oh, what the best thing? What would work best as an output for the list? So in the end we need to iterate over this until here it works. Then we have like slashes in between. That won't work well enough if we want to have a tree component here which outputs that. Need to think about this for a couple of minutes. So if we want maybe what we should do is to actually not say strings but objects, and within this object we can tell what type it is already because we found out, and if it is a directory or a file, and if it is a file we will nest the next passes within this. That makes kind of sense. But then we should not include the D here. How will that look? Okay, that doesn't work. Yeah, that's true. Because we need to dare to read this. So, but in that case, we are not saving the current item. What we are saving will be the dear past index. So now we have kind of a flat structure. That's what I want. So, but we are not saving the dir path directly, what we do is assume that in the else case this is a file. Like this. So, and we are saving name and type is file, and in this case the name is directory. Let's see what we get then. So first thing achieved. Next thing we need to do is to nest this here into this. So, and how we gonna do this? By okay. So now like this. Good. Let's check what we get now. So now we have content. Again, we have the content and oops. Yeah, there we have an issue because it's not everything inside of this. There. So because we are passing current item. So and if we so the current item is being is the directory which is being passed here and the dir path. But that's not the reason why we have always all the things, all the files within it. So we need to find out why this is the case. Ah, I see. We should not. We are passing the whole tree list every time. That's not what we want. We will need to pass the current level of the iteration of the walk dir. So how can we achieve this? Actually, we can pass in a counter here. So will be 0 from the start. and here it is iteration plus plus. No, that won't work. If we use this as an index. Okay, so what we want is basically, for this it will be okay. Can we just push the object every time? Let me try that. So we are pushing this. No, that was the iteration makes not too much sense. Or absolute, maybe it's absolute nonsense. Let's remove this. So now we should get all the files again with every iteration. So this is all okay. Now we even have March on the first level. So because we will need the index here, and that should be the same. That makes sense, because it's not even created. No. That's actually part of archive. Should be within archive. So what we should pass here . Yeah, actually, the index of this element here, what we have pushed right now, that should be tree list length minus 1. Not yet created in this moment. Yeah, okay. Let's do it like this. We know that it has been created. And that's for better readability. Let's see. Treeless push is not a function. Why? Ah. Actually, I think can we not just don't do that? Let's see. We have archive, we have content. Yeah, that was it. Always a new array. So there we go. That's exactly what we want. Lucky one. Good. Am I satisfied with the code? So we check if it is a directory. If it is a directory, we need to work further down the tree. Else we have a yeah, that's okay. Good. So, and with this structure, we can just pass this. So, let's do what this is telling us here. And walk the Whoop. Makes no sense. Okay, understand. So let's call it prepare tree. I think we don't need this. So, and what we want to do is to prepare the tree. So, and we need to So use callback. Okay, I need to check the use callback, use callback. So use callback. Yeah, the reason that makes no sense. So what I can do, does that make sense? Actually, I don't know if this is something you can do. I can just define this. Does that make sense? If I define that outside of the scope of the render, that could work. Because then it's not being exploited every time. No, we are relying on the global context. That's, yeah. Nice try. So as long as the global context does not change. Is this possible? I can't believe this. Like this. But yes, that cannot. That's not possible. Okay. That changes on every render. There has to be. can't we just return this as a... I will try this. So we want to have a use callback. That is a method which returns us dependency is global context, and that returns us the function. So let's call this work refactoring, and this is quite complicated. Walk is not defined. Line 23. Ah, true. Here we need to do the same. So this wants to have walk refactoring as a dependency. Now it compiles and it renders nothing. I go nuts. Maybe it's not a good idea to make recursive functions within jQuery, React, sorry. Now let's call this walk deer. We do it like that. We will have walk refactoring, we don't have it anymore. Just to be sure. Yeah, okay. I think we are safe to do it like that because we will never, we just shouldn't have props here. Then nothing can change. That's the global context. Okay, let's try this out for now. I hope I don't introduce some memory leaks here. Oh, it doesn't work. No, that doesn't work. But why? Do we really need to do something like this? Again and again and again. Yeah, that's true, because okay, I will try that. Go like this. Dependency is global context fs. So yeah, that's not. So no. Go like this. Seems to work. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oops. So. What do we get now? That's passing us the walk dear message. Walk dear. Let's try this here as well. And let's make this an anonymous function. Compiled successfully. And we get nothing. Weird. After we reload, it works, right? Yes. So what's the issue? We should so I include it. And that's working. I do this, it's not working. Why is that? So do we need to also make this? Cannot imagine this. No, that's not the reason. But what's the reason? The walk deer changes. Anything different if we do it like that? No, just that it tells me that walk deer is not a function. At least it worked somehow. That's pretty hard here. And if we just call it, what about this? Then we don't need this. Works, doesn't work. So why it is, that's really weird. Not being executed. So I think I just make that one later. So I remove the dependency now. And call this back to work there. And this. And we'll do a performance optimization later on. And that doesn't work. Oh god. What have I done? I broke everything. So construct here. Maybe it never worked. So let's see. That works. And maybe we need to wait for the global context fs. I have no idea. Why is it working the second time? So we have to prepare tree. We await the walk deer. Okay. I think I got it now. That makes no sense. Oh my god. Okay, if we... That should be another use effect, which is listening for... current, because it changes asynchronously. And if this is changing, that doesn't mean that we can log it there. So we need to change that here a little bit, and this should always work. No. Oh boy. Okay, seems like I have a lot of work to do. So I'm changing the current. Maybe we shouldn't do it like that. So let's remove first this. So this works. So next thing, to check if it works on a reload. It doesn't. So then let's just to make it sure we get the output. Let's get the output here. Const file tree, and let's declone the object. Opposite direction. So like this. Still doesn't work. And always if the HMR hooks in, it will work. I don't get it. I need a couple of more locks here. And I don't want a name function here. Let's do it like this. So that works again. That doesn't. So let's see. So let's check if we really get nothing back from here. Good, let's stringify the object to check it. Like this. Okay, there we have the property. Not being locked again. But it should. Let's make this a state. I think that's the issue. Let's do it like that. And then I don't need this. So then we are only using the state here and logging the state. That should definitely work. If we don't have an error. Ah. No. Object is not iterable. What the hell? React.js line 7. Yeah. Oh my god. Stop that. Stop that and concentrate. Okay, that's changing all the time. So there we have what this thing wanted to tell us. So in that case, we try what was proposed before. And we want to have and walk gear is the walk gear callback, like this. So and then we have one issue that is here. So we should do the same here. Let's see if this works. Okay, fingers crossed. No way, it doesn't look good. Seems like we have an infinite loop now or something. That's a joke. If I put in the dependency area, it wants to have it removed, and if I put nothing inside, it just doesn't work. So that works. But now that's never, yeah. Or the promise changes, or yeah, let's do this here. That's even worse than before. Why? I have the gut feeling that doesn't... Oh, I think it's even crashed the browser. We need to check. The fs promise is a dependency. Let's try this. So with that, I think it will not change all the time. I also don't know why. I've got the feeling that's because of the... Let's replace this and every other occurrence. Okay, I think that was it. Okay. Weird. I can also do it like that. That's the state from... Oops. I have no idea what I'm doing here. That recursive function Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Seems to work now. I think I introduced an infinite loop and it was not finished yet, and I thought also the other code is erroneous now. I think, yeah, now we have it. That's exactly what we want. The tree is always there. Now we can render this here. So let's get started with this. No, that's not, that makes no sense. I think we should leave this here. And for now, we should no, we need a component for that. Because we also need to make this recursive. So then let's create this. So yes, yes, yes. Okay. So we want this to be an ordered list, and within this ordered list, first we need to render this here by a tree iterator. Tree is tree that we have created, and with this tree we want to so let's get this tree here. So, and let's map the tree. So I don't know, branch, item, let's call it item. I don't know if it's a branch or a leaf. So, and index, and we render an li and a list element with a key property named we need to think later about the keys. Maybe we should use the item. Yes, that's, oh no, that's also not unique. Yeah, but let's do this for now. So, and Actually, we need to differentiate between the types, so that we only will do this here if we have a directory. So if item type equals directory, we will render this so no, actually we can do it inside. Let's do this. So we can check if this is a directory, then and else the other case. So in that case, we render a file tree iterator again, but the tree property is this time item content. So and else. Yeah, but we also want to render the name, right? So and in that case, we are rendering only the name. No, now I made a mistake, because if we want to click on files, we want something other happen. Yeah, we want to have another handler for this, so we don't need this. So we don't need this, and we only need this. But let's format this a little bit better, as long as I don't have auto formatting in place here. We need to do it this on our own. So in the else case, I want almost the same thing, but without this here. And we also don't need to wrap this. So like this. And we can safely remove this. Let's see what we have. Whoa! Exactly what I want. Nice. Cool. Good. So we can just prepare a handler and a file click, just that we know that we have something here. So, and handle folder click. My God. Okay, like this. So let's, for now, let's place the handler here. That's the folder, and that's the file. So Okay. Good enough. So what we need to do, if we click that, is to load the content. I don't know. I think, yeah. Okay. Do I even need the tree and the file then? No, let's leave it there for now. Maybe that's getting bigger here. Don't know right now. So we don't need this effect anymore. So actually, I think we can wrap this up if, yeah, that is something we should definitely save. So we should have this full pass here. And here as well. And we can output this whenever clicked. I think that's a good starting point for the next session. And yeah. So let's do this. We are passing the event vendor here. There's the event here, and we also want the item full path. So, and the same, let's do exactly the same for the folder. Only that we want to handle the folder click instead of the file click. And we will have the full path here. And that's what we want to lock in order to load this stuff in the next session. Oops. Yeah, without having this defined, I get an error for sure. So let's see if this works. Oops, that gives me, yeah, that's bubbling. Okay. The vamp is bubbling up the tree. That should be actually, we should do it like this. Something like this. Button of type button. So don't need this anymore. And the same. Yeah, let's format this a little bit for better readability. So, and we copy this over and do the same here. Just with the hello file click, and this can be removed. Then we don't have the problem that we need to cancel the bubbling. Yes, okay. That makes a lot of sense. So okay. I think that's it for now.